Do you feel that? That tightness in your chest that appears when you're about to discover a truth that will hurt before it sets you free? That's exactly the feeling you should be feeling right now, Scorpio, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just a prediction. It's a surgical revelation about 3 events already in motion in your life. 2 goodbyes that will tear your heart apart before rebuilding it stronger. And 1 encounter that will completely rewrite the script you thought you were following. You know that feeling of living in slow motion during life's most intense moments? When something profound is happening and you can feel every heartbeat, every breath, every second dragging by as your reality rearranges itself. Get ready, because you're about to enter that state. The next few months will be such an intense, transformative experience that you'll remember the exact moment your life split into before and after this revelation. Scorpio, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, because I know you prefer the raw truth to the sweet lie. You've been trapped in a life that isn't yours, playing a role you've learned to play so well that even you've forgotten your acting. But your true spirit has been writhing inside this invisible prison, trying to break through the bars of expectations, fears, and commitments that no longer make sense to who you truly are. The 2 upcoming goodbyes are no coincidence. They are necessary surgeries. The universe will remove from your life 2 situations that are impeding your true evolution. And as devastating as it may initially seem, these separations will create the empty space necessary for something genuinely extraordinary to enter your experience. Because Scorpio's nature doesn't tolerate half measures. Either you're living with full intensity, or you're wasting the life force that courses through your veins. Can you feel it? That restlessness that's been growing inside you these past few weeks? It's not ordinary anxiety. It's your true self trying to break the shell of the small life you've accepted as enough. It's the sound of your soul struggling to breathe in a reality that's become too tight to contain who you're becoming. These 2 goodbyes will be like breaking chains you didn't even realize you were carrying. The first goodbye will arrive disguised as betrayal or disappointment. Someone you trusted, something you believed in, a situation you considered safe, will reveal its true nature. And it will hurt in a way you haven't felt in a long time. It will stir that deepest part of you that harbors old wounds, that still remembers other times you were betrayed or abandoned. For a few days, you'll feel like the ground has disappeared from under your feet. But here's what you need to understand about this first goodbye. It's not happening to hurt you. It's happening to show you where you've been selling yourself short, where you've been accepting crumbs when you deserve the full feast. The pain you'll feel isn't the pain of loss. It's the pain of recognition, the pain of realizing you've allowed yourself to live below your true potential for too long. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, this first goodbye is connected to a romantic relationship or partnership that has drained your vital energy. You'll discover that you were giving much more than you were receiving, investing in someone who didn't have the capacity or desire to match the depth of what you offered. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the revelation will come through a professional situation or project that will reveal your true colors. And for those born between November 13th and 22nd, the first goodbye will be to a version of yourself you cultivated to please others, but which was never genuinely yours. The second goodbye will be even deeper, but of a completely different nature. It won't involve betrayal or external disappointment. It will be you consciously choosing to separate yourself from something that, while not bad, is preventing you from accessing your true power. It could be a habit, a thought pattern, a way of relating to the world that worked in the past, but has now become a limitation. This second goodbye will require courage you didn't know you possessed, because you'll have to voluntarily give up something familiar and seemingly safe to plunge into the complete unknown. It'll be like jumping off a cliff without seeing where you'll land, trusting only in the inner certainty that staying in the safe place would be a greater betrayal of your spirit than risking everything for the possibility of an authentic life. And it is precisely in this empty space, in this void created by these two goodbyes, that the most important encounter of your life will occur. I'm not necessarily talking about a person, although it could be. I'm talking about the encounter with a version of yourself that has been silently waiting for this opportunity to emerge. A version you always knew existed, but never had the space to fully manifest. This encounter will be terrible in the best sense of the word. Terrible because it will shake every fiber of your being. Terrible because it will awaken a hunger for life that you will have to learn to satisfy. Terrible because it will show you how much you were capable of feeling, creating and impacting the world around you, and how much you wasted living a tepid and controlled existence. The encounter could come through a professional opportunity that will require you to use talents you've kept hidden. It could be a person who will see through all your masks and challenge you to be completely authentic. It could be a situation that will awaken a passion or purpose you thought you'd lost forever. Or it could simply be an encounter with your own inner strength, which will reveal itself to be far greater than you ever imagined. Scorpio, you were born to live intensely. Not the superficial intensity of unnecessary drama, but the profound intensity of someone who is completely engaged in their own life. Someone who feels every emotion to the end, embraces every experience completely, and immerses themselves in everything they do. You are a being of extremes, and trying to live in the middle is like trying to breathe underwater. The two upcoming goodbyes will break the bonds that kept you trapped in this lukewarm comfort zone. They will force you to feel again, to truly care, to take real risks for what your heart truly desires. And the encounter that follows these goodbyes will reignite that inner fire you may have thought was extinguished forever. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? That time in your life when you felt everything more intensely, when your emotions were more vivid, when you cared deeply about things that truly mattered. You may have learned to modulate that, to be more balanced, more mature, more controlled. But in the process, you may have lost touch with that source of power that has always been your hallmark. What's coming will give this back to you, but not in the naive, impulsive way it was before. It will be this mature, focused intensity, aware of your own power and the responsibility that comes with it. You will discover that it is possible to feel deeply without losing yourself. It is possible to care intensely without becoming obsessive. It is possible to love completely without being annulled. The first goodbye will happen suddenly and unexpectedly. One day you'll wake up and discover that something that seemed solid in your life has revealed its true fragility. It could be through a conversation that changes everything, a discovery that shakes your beliefs, or simply a sudden realization that you've been deceiving yourself about a specific situation. At this point, you'll feel an intense mix of anger, sadness, disappointment, and surprisingly relief. The anger will come from the feeling of having been deceived or having deceived yourself. The sadness from the loss of what you thought you had. The disappointment from realizing that things weren't as they seemed. But the relief will come from finally being able to stop pretending to be content with a situation that, deep down, you knew wasn't right for you. Allow yourself to feel all of this fully. Don't try to rationalize or minimize the intensity of the emotions that will arise. You are a Scorpio. You were made to process deep emotional experiences and transform them into wisdom and personal power. Every tear you shed, every moment of anger you feel, every wave of sadness that passes through you is clearing space for something much greater to enter your life. The second goodbye will be different because it will be a conscious choice on your part. After going through the first goodbye and processing all the emotions it brought, you'll have a new clarity about what you truly want from life. And you'll realize that there's something in your current reality that, while not necessarily bad, is preventing you from accessing this new version of yourself you want to experience. This may be the hardest decision you've ever made, because it involves giving up something others may not understand. It might mean leaving a job that pays well, but doesn't challenge you. It might mean ending a relationship that's comfortable, but doesn't have the depth you truly desire. It might mean moving away from a place where you feel safe but limited, or it might simply mean stopping behaving in a way that keeps you small and predictable. What will give you the courage to make this second goodbye is the visceral memory of what you felt during the first. You'll remember the pain of realizing you were accepting less than you deserved, and this memory will become a powerful fuel to prevent yourself from getting stuck in other limiting situations, even if by choice. And then, in the empty space created by these two separations, something extraordinary will begin to emerge. First, you'll feel like you're in a no man's land, without the old references that used to define your identity, and without complete clarity about what comes next. It can be uncomfortable, even scary, but it will also be electrifying, because you'll feel a freedom you haven't experienced in a long time. It's in this state of total openness that the most important encounter will happen. And when it arrives, you'll recognize it immediately, not by its external form, but by the way it makes you feel. It'll be like finding a missing piece in a puzzle you didn't even know you were putting together. It will make sense in a way that transcends common logic. This encounter will awaken within you a version of yourself that combines your natural intensity with a wisdom you didn't possess before. You'll discover that you can be deeply passionate without being destructive. You can be intensely focused without being obsessive. You can have deep relationships without losing your independence. You can pursue your goals with iron determination without trampling on others in the process. The person you become after these three experiences will be unrecognizable from who you are today. Not because you'll completely change, but because you'll finally stop hiding or suppressing parts of yourself that have always existed but were kept hidden out of fear, insecurity, or a need for approval. You'll discover that you have a much greater personal magnetism than you ever imagined, that your ability to influence and inspire others is extraordinary when you stop trying to be who you think you should be and start being who you really are, that your instincts are incredibly accurate when you stop questioning every intuition you have. Scorpio, the people around you will notice this transformation immediately. Some will be drawn to the new energy you'll be emanating. Others may feel intimidated or uncomfortable, especially those who have grown accustomed to the more restrained version of you. Don't worry about these reactions. When you're living authentically, you attract the right people and naturally repel those who don't resonate with your true frequency. What strikes me most about the process you're about to experience is how each goodbye will reveal something you didn't know about yourself. The first will show where you've been too complacent, where you've accepted treatment or situations that don't honor your true worth. The second will reveal your courage to risk false security for real possibilities of growth. And the encounter will reveal your true power. Not the power to control or manipulate, but the power to create, transform, heal, inspire. The power to live so authentically and intensely that your very existence becomes an example of what is possible when someone has the courage to fully embrace their deepest nature. During this process, you may experience moments of intense fear. Fear that the changes will be too big, too fast, too definitive. It's natural. Scorpio is the sign of transformation, but that doesn't mean transformation is always comfortable. In fact, it rarely is. But you have a unique ability to navigate profound change and emerge stronger on the other side. Trust your ability to regenerate. You've been through transformations before and survived. More than survived, you flourished. This one will be no different. Except this time, you're more aware of the process, more able to collaborate with it instead of just resisting it until it passes. Both goodbyes may seem like losses at the time, but they are actually liberations. A release from commitments that have become prisons, a release from patterns that have become limitations, a release from versions of yourself that served your growth in the past, but now impede your future evolution. And the encounter that follows these releases will be like waking up from a long, confusing dream. to discover that your real life was waiting for you all along. It'll be like taking off foggy glasses you didn't even know you were wearing and seeing the world with a clarity that will take your breath away. Scorpio, I need you to understand that what's coming isn't just a change in external circumstances. It's a complete revolution in your way of existing in the world. A transformation so profound that it will affect not only how you act, but also how you think, how you feel, and how you relate to your own life. You'll discover you have far more control over your reality than you ever imagined. Not the neurotic control of trying to micromanage every detail, but the profound control of someone who understands how their internal choices shape their external experience. You'll learn to use your intensity as a tool of creation rather than destruction. The relationships you build after these three experiences will be of a completely different quality. They will be based on mutual authenticity rather than emotional need. They will be deep without being possessive. They will allow for real intimacy without sacrificing individuality, because you will have learned the difference between love that liberates and attachment that imprisons. The work you choose to do will also reflect this new version of yourself. It will be more aligned with your true values, will allow you to use your unique talents, and will have an impact that resonates with your deeper purpose. You may discover abilities you didn't know you had, or find entirely new ways to apply talents you've always had but never fully utilized. The way you relate to money, success, and recognition will also undergo a transformation. You'll discover what truly motivates you behind superficial ambitions. You'll learn the difference between wanting something because you genuinely want it and wanting something because you think you should. Your goals will become authentic expressions of who you are, rather than attempts to impress others or fill emotional voids. Scorpio, during the next few weeks leading up to these transformative experiences, pay attention to the subtle signals your subconscious is sending you. More intense and symbolic dreams, sudden intuitions about people or situations, a heightened sensitivity to detecting lies or falsehoods, moments of sudden clarity about things you've been avoiding facing. These signals are your internal navigation system preparing you for what's coming. Don't ignore them or try to rationalize them. Your Scorpio subconscious has access to information that your conscious mind hasn't yet processed. Trust this inner wisdom, which has always been one of your greatest strengths. Also, notice how you react when others around you are going through intense transformations. If you feel inspired and recognize aspects of your own need for change, this indicates that you are ready for your own transformation. If you feel uncomfortable or want to convince these people to be more careful or realistic, it may indicate that there are still parts of you resisting the coming change process. The most important thing is for you to understand that these two goodbyes and this encounter are not random events happening to you. They are experiences you attracted into your life because on some deep level, you recognized that you were ready for them. Your Scorpio soul asked for these transformative opportunities because it knew you had the strength to not only survive them, but thrive through them. As all this begins to unfold, remember that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are an active co-creator of your own evolution. The choices you make in each moment, how you process goodbyes, how you open yourself to the coming encounter, how you integrate the lessons of each experience, will determine not only how you navigate this period, but what kind of person you become on the other side. If this content has awakened something within you, if you felt that shiver of recognition that arises when a profound truth is touched, it confirms that you are in tune with the energies moving in your life. Share in the comments if you felt signs that profound changes are approaching. Your experiences can help other Scorpios recognize their own signs of transformation. Subscribe to the channel, because what you'll experience in the coming weeks is just the beginning of a new phase in your life. You'll need guidance on how to navigate the emotional intensity of these experiences, how to integrate the lessons each goodbye will bring, and how to fully open yourself to the transformative encounter that's coming. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any guidance that can support you in this process of complete metamorphosis. Scorpio, prepare yourself. Both goodbyes will hurt, but they will hurt in the right way. The way it hurts when something that was infected is finally cleansed and can truly begin to heal. And the encounter that follows will be so powerful, so transformative, that you'll wonder how you managed to live so long without meeting this version of yourself that was waiting to be born. It's terrible, yes, terribly necessary, terribly powerful, terribly transformative. And you already know deep in your Scorpio soul that you're more than ready to live this full experience.